All right, first and foremost, I am not at home. I am back on the road again. I am using a really Gucci LG screen as my monitor. So I've had to do a lot of changes to the resolution so that it looks decent on OBS. So if this is what you're used to normally seeing or normally hearing, because I'm also not using my Blue Yeti microphone setup, bear with me, but I felt this video was something I wanted to do tonight to talk about because this is a really big deal. Jason Schreier over at Bloomberg reported today that for the first time in 2 decades, Call of Duty is planning to skip a year. Activision has delayed 2023's game, which is going to be made by Treyarch, into 2024. It's a shocking move that will have a massive impact on the franchise and the industry. And I couldn't agree more with Jason. He goes on to say that, and these are some things I'm going to be talking about, but just to kind of lay the groundwork for you guys all, this decision was made completely independent of the Microsoft acquisition. Call of Duty Vanguard has underperformed, and Activision executives have been concerned about the game's cannibalizing one another. So this has been making the rounds. I saw it a little bit earlier talked about on Charlie Intel, which is a very famous Call of Duty themed website, as well as what I want to really show off first to kind of make my case is Metacritic. This is where I think the problem starts. An annual franchise is fine. Okay, making a franchise every single year, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. If Call of Duty can pull off an annual franchise that matters. And I would argue that up until Modern Warfare, you were seeing the company go in some kind of odd directions. You had the kind of World War II thing that really didn't sell that well. You had the Advanced Warfare, which I did like, by the way, that wasn't really as critically received. You had the Black Ops 3 Blackout mode, which was cool, but lacked a single player story. It all came together in Call of Duty Modern Warfare. I have no idea why these are scores 3.5. I'm going to guess it's because Call of Duty has not been very good about keeping this game current with patches, and some of the upcoming patches that have happened have kind of broken the game in the past. As of recently, so my understanding is it's hard to currently play. A lot of the servers are down, whatever. Don't look at that. The review bomb is nonsense. What I want you to look at is the Metacritic score of 80. When this game came out, it changed everything. Everybody loved this game. This was a universally loved Call of Duty game. You had a phenomenal story with Captain Price. You saw the inception of the infamous task force that he commands. It had some amazing graphics, which really pushed the PlayStation 4 at the time. That was the first game I played where I had a really nice set of Astro headset, the Astro A40 mix amp with TR, and wow, it was beautiful. It sounded good, it looked good, the multiplayer was fascinating. You had the hook in with Warzone, which blew up. It was just a masterclass of a game. And what did they do 1 year later? They released an advertisement. No, they released Black Ops Cold War, which was still good. You could see the Metacritic score buckled slightly. I think that's a fair reflection. It was fun. It had a great story that took some different risks. It continued the progression of Call of Duty's Warzone mode. It had some phenomenal events like the inclusion of the Rambo stuff and the zombies invasion of Verdansk. You had the Die Hard stuff included in here. But ultimately, it started to feel to me, who was an adamant Call of Duty Modern Warfare player, who liked the modern weapons in the modern setting, it kind of started to cannibalize itself because everybody jumped rapidly to Black Ops Cold War, didn't warm up to it as fast. Yes, we had shiny new consoles. Most of us were playing it on our PS5s and our Xbox Series S or X's, so it looked better, it ran better, it loaded faster, whatever. The reality is, it started to cannibalize, and there was definitely some tension there of like, I really want to go back to Modern Warfare, but Cold War is calling to us. And then Vanguard came out. And for me and many others, this was a total skip. I never bought this. I took all of my Call of Duty points and all of my fun with Warzone, and I absolutely shut it down. And I know that the franchise has to be aware this was a bad game. This was definitely not something people wanted. I talked a lot about this in the beta. The direction, the art, and the sound design and the gameplay was really all over the place. It just never flowed in a very meaningful way. Not in the way that we saw with Cold War, definitely not with Modern Warfare. I would even argue, and unfortunately, Call of Duty does not show off their numbers, so we will never know. I would be shocked if Vanguard actually had more active players than Black Ops, because Black Ops at least had a lot going for it, not in the way that Modern Warfare did, but definitely better than Vanguard. So jumping back to this Bloomberg article, which I have no idea why there are so many ads on this thing, but I wanted to highlight that this definitely is a trend that I think a lot of people have saw with the cannibalism, and it was really an unforced error on Vanguard. If Call of Duty Black Ops lasted another year, or even going back to Call of Duty Modern Warfare, if that had lasted another year and they continued the battle pass beyond I think it was like 6 seasons or 7 seasons, whatever it was, people would still be playing it. The content was still fun. They were coming out with new operators that tied into Warzone. They were still dropping new maps. They were still dropping new weapons. They were adding new kill streaks. They were adding new gimmicks and modes and things to play. People still would have played that. No one was tired of Modern Warfare. Definitely nobody was tired of Cold War. So I think they've kind of realized that. And maybe in lieu of even with Halo, and I think this is awfully far reaching, Halo's notorious 10-year plan, where they're going to basically have content for 10 whole years, seems a bit of a long shot. But maybe that kind of resonated with these annualized franchises to take a step back and say, maybe we could do this better. Think to Assassin's Creed, another great example. Think of what happened with Assassin's Creed. You saw a very watered down, saturated, annualized Assassin's Creed. And then what did they do? They took a year off and they came back with Origins, which is one of the highest rated Assassin's Creeds ever. So Activision is working on other projects to fill the gap. Next year, if Call of Duty game is set to come out this fall, will receive a steady stream of additional content, and there will be new free-to-play online title next year. I don't care about the new free-to-play title. The key here is to steady stream of content. If Modern Warfare 2 is as amazing as the original Modern Warfare that came out in 2019, many people will be so happy to have modern weapons, dump this boring, drab World War II, dump this 1980s crap, bring us to modern day weapons, modern day maps. And I think if they release that content, the free to play thing doesn't matter. I mean, if they want to add it, great. I mean, isn't Warzone free to play? They want to add even more on top of that? Whatever, I don't care. As long as they continue, there's maybe 15 seasons or 10 seasons in Modern Warfare, I think we're all going to be very, very excited. The delay has put a massive effect on the video game industry. Every fall since 2005, Activision has put out a new Call of Duty game, and they have continuously basically dominated the space because of this. Definitely Vanguard did not dominate the space. I have no idea where Vanguard is on that timeline, but he does say that Vanguard did fail to meet sales expectations. I know they didn't get a sale from me or Phil. We were not interested in that game at all, leading executives to suspect that it had been cannibalized by last year's previous game. Well, that's partially true. The fact that it was an unoriginal, boring, drab, ugly-looking game probably had a lot to do with it too, though, Activision. But yes, people were still enjoying Modern Warfare, and people were still enjoying Cold War. We weren't ready for something new. So they suspect that it's been cannibalized, although Call of Duty Warzone remains the hook. And I think that's the key, too, with Call of Duty. If you can tie in microtransactions and the weapon skins and the operator skins into fun and meaningful Warzone gameplay loops, you're going to have people buying like crazy. Somebody like me who doesn't spend a lot of money on, post content, microtransaction, DLC kind of stuff. I bought Rambo. I bought the 1980s Glam Park. I bought a couple different weapon packs. I bought some Call of Duty points. I bought the Battle Pass every single time it came out. And I know you kind of use your BP or your CP, your Call of Duty points, to earn to play through for the next year. But I easily spent, I'd say, another $80 or $90 on that game, and I don't regret a second of it. So and there was a lot of tie into Warzone. It was buying a new operator, playing it in single player or multiplayer rather, playing it in Warzone, going into Warzone, finding a really cool weapon, going back into single player, buying that weapon skin or buying that blueprint to have as my own. They do go on to say that Microsoft definitely is going to get involved, and that scares me. I've talked a lot about Microsoft's failed franchise ownership of pretty much everything they've touched. So let's hope Modern Warfare is really, really good, because it might be the last good one we get for a very, very, very long time. Yeah, so very interesting article by Jason Schreier. Lots of good news coming here. I'll be really curious to see exactly what happens with this franchise coming in this year, what kind of roadmap they lay out, what kind of plan that they put into place, because I think it's going to be a banger, and I'm really, really excited. I can't wait for this game. The day it becomes available for pre-order, I'm absolutely buying it. I can't wait to play with my friends. I can't wait to grind through all the weapon skins and all the character classes. If it's 50% as good as Modern Warfare was, it's going to be almost game of the year, except for maybe Elden Ring. But that'll wrap up my love fest for Call of Duty today. I just wanted to put a video out there saying that I think this is a very smart move, and I think it shows that they know they have a home run with Modern Warfare 2, a game that can seemingly do the impossible and keep Call of Duty fans satisfied for more than one consecutive year. Remains to be seen. That's it for today's video, y'all. Thank you all so much for watching. Take care of yourselves, and until next time, I will see you guys on the other side.